good morning. It is a Sunday morning, a little bit after 9 o'clock. ESPN Radio has gone bye-bye for a little while. I'm Richard Neer, and we're going to start a series of Sunday morning programs beginning this weekend. Obviously, pro football is over. Mike Francesa's football show won't be back until next September, so we'll hold the fort for a while and talk about lots of things. Got baseball talk. I went to the Gene Michael dinner dance last night, and I got a chance to talk with Reggie Jackson, who is the guest. Stay healthy and play their game. Here we go again, coach speak. I think they've got as good a chance as anybody. They've shown that they can beat the teams in the West. They have shown they can handle the teams in the East. And when everything is coming together, this is a very difficult team to deal with on a lot of levels. But it's not going to be a cakewalk. They've got Chicago, and they've got Seattle, and they've got Houston, and some other teams to deal with too. Atlanta. We'll be right back. Sports Radio.
Sunny. That's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball.
And we're back with you, Richard Neer, on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, taking your phone calls at 718-937-6666. Got a hold of the Daily News, and I checked out the story that the caller was alluding to. And basically, FC, but this is when the season begins. When you talk about free agents, draft picks, scouting, this is when things can turn a lot. And I think they can turn a lot more than they have in the past, just because of all of the players that will be out there for grabs. 718-937-6666. Couple of hours in the books. We're here till 12:30, till Knicks pregame. Knicks take on Shack Attack and the Orlando Magic coming up on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Sunday. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball.
Back with you on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN. Another hour and a half to go till 12:30, till Knicks pregame time with the Orlando Magic. Game that NBC will have, and of course we'll have it.
That's Tim Russert. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, I-Man.
Did you see Ross Perot's talk show?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
That's how I spend my Saturday nights, huh?
Well, I saw it too, by the way. So.
I think he's better as a guest, I have to tell you.
Well, a couple of times he's been on in your sandbagging, but...
Sandbag?
Like the first time he was on...
Like ask him, what's in your plan? What a curveball that is.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Shouldn't the CIA have known about what was going on there in the Soviet Union?
I asked Kozarov yesterday, when he was over at the Mideast peace signing with Arafat and Rabin, he grabbed Warren Christopher and told him something. And
wake up.
Well,
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Starship Free Enterprise. I am the round mound of sound, Rush Limbaugh. Talent on a closed-end leash from God. Good thing for me, I didn't run up that much mileage.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month. How are you planning to celebrate?
Well,
Me, I intend to put on a pair of comfortable shoes and not go to work for a couple of weeks.
that'll be fine.
Don't get me wrong, I look forward to this time of year, the annual Black History Month sale on malt liquor, the 2-for-1 buckets at Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Harriet Tubman Happy Meals at Mickey D's. My question is, why Black History Month? Have the Negroes amassed such a chronological record of events contributing to civilization that makes them deserving of 4 whole weeks of observance? I'm sorry, but Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves, only gets 1 day. And even then, he has to share it with old wooden teeth George Washington. So you can't tell me that George Washington Carver's breakthroughs with the goober justifies an entire month.
Well,
regardless of the fact that it's the shortest month of the year. Case in point, the Reverend Louis Farrakhan's top aide, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Outspoken little devil, isn't he? You have to be pretty controversial to be condemned by the Congressional Black Caucus for being an anti-Semite, don't you? Of course, all sacred covenants are meant to be broken once the Hebrews get their backs up. The Nation of Islam can say whatever they want about white people, but once Shlomo is offended, it's a different story. Mr. Mfume can't be having that.
Well,
But just where was this nutjob Mohammed anti-Semitic? To my knowledge, he called the Pope a bagel and lox eating wannabe Jew, which to my mind is a statement based in truth.
Rush.
Who else could actually want to be Jewish but a Polak? Let's look at His Holiness for a second, shall we? He's got his own real estate, a funny hat, all the gold in the world, and thinks he's the next best thing to God. He's already Jewish. But if the Mohammeds and the Farrakhan's want to make contributions to the black man, they will have to do something for the white man first. That's just the way it goes. The aforementioned George Washington Carver provided us with peanut butter. The Reverend Martin Luther King with a day off.
Oh, that's nice.
So what great achievement will Reverend Farrakhan be remembered for in future Black History Months? Bringing the bow tie back in style? Take it from one who knows. Don't diss the Jews. Or else instead of making history, you'll be history. More after this.
Rush kind of petered out there at the end, didn't he? Well, if you don't have a punchline, just stop. That's really basically what
Every right-wing boy and girl all around the industrialized world gonna do the limbaugh rock all around the limbaugh clock. Mama be nimble, Willie be slick. First husband Clinton makes me sick. Be the first one on your block. Try and do the limbaugh rock. Limbaugh's to the right now. A little further to the right now. A little further to the right. How conservative can you go? Clinton's main artillery is that shrew Miss Hillary. We here at the EIB fear her feminazi tyranny. Though she loves to politic, she'd be better at turning tricks. Don't intend to offend or shock. I'm just doing the limbaugh rock. And now, time for another homosexual update. According to Outweek, you should excuse the expression homosexual rag. Gay weddings are on the rise. My question is, at a homosexual wedding, where do they stick the bouquet? White's my face and red's my neck. Quite far from politically correct. Lifetime member of the NRA. Same goes for the KKK. All the homeboys in my hood all wear hoods like homies should. Put a Negro in a hammerlock. Come on, do the limbaugh rock. Come on over to the right now. You don't have to be that bright now. How conservative can you go? Rush Limbaugh saying Sieg Heil. And remember, folks, if an Afro-American, liberal, lesbian, feminazi Jew should move into your neighborhood, do the right thing. Kill her. More after this.
Rush Limbaugh and the Limbaugh Rock here on the fairly hideous Imus program. It's 11 minutes till 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. Mike Francesa Sports coming up.
Well, a redneck nerd in a bowling shirt was a guzzling Lone Star beer, talking religion and politics for all the world to hear. They ought to send you back to Russia, boy, or New York City at one. You just want to doodle a Christian girl and you kill God's only son.
Headline issues of the day. Imus in Washington's senior political analyst, Richard M. Nixon.
Yes, and thank you very much. Imus in the morning.
Stop singing.
Now, I know you're a little under the weather, Dono, and isn't that unusual? So I'll just cut right to the chase, okay?
Good.
Just a few very quick top-of-the-Nixon noodle notes. Issue 1, a synchronicity of sleaze, to paraphrase Time Magazine's definition of this weird planetary alignment or whatever, that has thrust upon us the Tanya Harding, Jeff Gillooly soap opera, John Wayne Bobbitt, and Rush to Judgment Marina, Michael You Can Touch This Jackson, and Eric and Lyle, those wacky California kids who took the Parents Without partners concept to a whole new level. I say dump the whole lot in Mr. Jackson's hot tub and let him fight it out. Lorena can cut off Jeff's galooly, Michael can touch it, and Sean Eckert can slam somebody over the head with it. And before you know it, we could be rid of the entire infection. Now, to be serious, I do agree with the position you've articulated, J.D., regarding the Tanya Harding matter. They have got to let her skate at Lillehammer. As you underscored, it just couldn't get any better, any more dramatic than the specter of the whacker and the wacky going at it. Now, as things stand, Tanya has been convicted of nothing. I'm only hoping that she is, and they still send her. And then that they, by God, have them both skate at the same time. Line them up at each end of the rink, amend the rules to allow checking, give them both a pair of chucka-sticks, flash a big Nike Just Do It message on the TV monitors, and turn them loose. The one who's still standing at the end of their 5-minute program, well, goes over and starts filling out the L.A. Gear contracts. Okay, issue 2. United States Senator Judd Gregg of New Hampshire. I heard your interview of the senator as you debuted in Claremont, New Hampshire, man. Now, there's a powerful personality, eh? Well, Jesus. I found myself thinking, hey, when did Opie get elected to Congress? Who put him on the ballot? Aunt B? Oh, God. Issue 3, as we're on the subject of members of Congress, another one. This Martin Hope fellow from Ohio, overheard making lewd comments about the anatomy of a TV producer who was attaching a lavalier mic to his suit jacket the other day. Now, as I understand it, Congressman Hope affected an accent and remarked that the young lady had, as he put it, the big breasts. Well, and now his whole career is in jeopardy. Well, I may take some heat, but in my view, it's just another case of oversensitivity keeping us from having any fun. I mean, what would she have preferred the man to say? Hey, pancake chest? Hello, button boobs? I don't think so. And now, issue 4 and final. I know you once smoked, Dono, as did I, and may be concerned about this new evidence suggesting a significant link between smoking and the risk of colorectal cancer. To be honest, J.D., I think the number of people falling into this new risk group will be very small. Really? For the sake of science, I tried it. Now, in the first place, they're hell to light. You can't see what you're doing. And half the time, I either blew it out or set my pants on fire. Not to be flippant, Dono, but believe me, that was never intended to be Marlboro country down there, okay? No. So you can relax. And that's a brief look at the world through a Dick's eye, Dono. The eye of Dick Nixon, of course, a former president of the United States.
An idiot. It's a quarter after 7 o'clock on 7:15 in New York, and I'm disappointed. Any new stations on today, Bernard? Not that we know of, huh?
I don't know.
What is today?
Today is the 7th.
Okay, now we're locked in on El Paso. We go on in El Paso here on February 14th.
All right. Week from today.
Yeah, and in Sacramento, we go on Monday the 28th, which is the night I'll be on Letterman. And we go on in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on that same night.
Great.
Because the guy in Myrtle Beach wants to take a run at Stern.
Yeah.
We'll tilt at Stern. Yeah. We'll whip Stern's ass in Myrtle Beach just like we do here in New York, so don't worry about a thing. And here live from El Paso, Texas is my brother, Fred Imus. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, Imus. We got a great T-shirt promotion.
You do?
Yeah.
What is it?
Anybody that can prove that they've shot a spotted owl gets a free T-shirt.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Here's Clinton. He wants to pay to have abortions and save the owls. Kill the people, save the owls. Well, it makes sense to me. Let's pay to have those owls have abortions.
In the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
I just walked.
Hey, Butthead, check it out. It's Meatloaf.
You butt munch. That's not Meatloaf. That's that ice skating chick's bodyguard, Sean Dickhard.
Which ice skating chick? The one who looks like a dude? Or the one who, looks like a fat dude?
The one who got her husband to smack the other ice skating chick in the knee with a pipe.
She's cool. She, drinks whiskey and smokes cigarettes and plays pool. She is my idol.
She's cool, but ice skating sucks.
Yeah.
But at least if you let the chicks smack each other with pipes, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then, the last chick left standing on the ice wins all the medals.
Yeah, like the Royal Rumble.
But they should use better music.
Yeah, that West Side Story stuff sucks.
They should skate to, AC/DC or something.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best shot, baby.
Yeah. Fire away!
I'm watching Make It Fresh yesterday. And I taped Face the Nation, even though Bob Schieffer's is beyond the point of annoying me. Yeah. In his I want to be Ted Koppel so bad I can't stand it mode that he gets himself in. 17 after 7 here in New York.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Not tell one person, you know what, I'm with a guy who tried to bump off my competition. Not one person found that out. You know why they didn't find that out? The hanging judge. Because she did it. The hanging judge. And if people think she did it,
if she's guilty, would you? I think she did it too. But you know what? Let's have somebody, either the Oregon people or the USOC, to show a little guts here.
Lied in front of the
Then arrest her.
FBI.
Then have the FBI lock her up.
She lied in front of Herbert Hoover.
J. Edgar would have got her. He's not around anymore.
See you tomorrow.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Have I ever done one of these things without you? Just one. Never mind. The current Central Park temperature, it's cold, Bill. Cold, just like you. 34 degrees, and that's what's happening. I'm Vince DeLisi with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
Good evening. Who stole the news? 718-937-6666. Bill Daughtry with you on the Fan. Till Knicks basketball at 7:35, and after Knicks basketball till 12 midnight. Who stole the news? I mean, what's going on today? Michael Jordan signing a minor league baseball contract? Saberhagen getting suspended for 5 days? That's the news? Give me a break. With you until midnight, as we said, Bill Daughtry right here on the Fan.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
718-937-6666. Bill Daughtry on the Fan. You know,
Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
after fighting off all that traffic, I want to inform you that Susan Waldman is on the premises and
Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
Bill Daughtry on the Fan at 718-937-6666.
Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
718-937 roster come opening day, no matter what his skill level was. We'll be back, DeLisi with the Flash at 7 on the Fan.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
We have a controversy of some substance brewing here in New York about the suits, the massive whitey over at the big house. Over at Madison Square Garden came down on Walt Frazier. They told him to stop rhyming his stuff because he used to rhyme everything. That's ridiculous. Well, Russ says that he has it on good authority. Nobody tells Clyde what to do.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
He said it's good that Clyde doesn't rhyme anymore.
He still rhymes, but not as much.
Not as much.
He felt that he was getting more recognition for the rhymings rather than his astute analysis, therefore he wanted to cut back on it. Dropped a cotton bale on him, I mean. That's exactly what happened. They dropped the cotton bale on him.
In the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good evening at 7 o'clock.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
It's 7:05. I'm Bill Daughtry at 718-937-6666. After that stellar, award-winning update by Vince DeLisi, you hear him clapping for himself in the background. I have to carry on. At least for another 30 minutes. That's when Susan Waldman steps in with the Knicks pregame show. Knicks down in Miami tonight. They take on the Heat. The 7:35 pregame, 8 o'clock tip-off. Knicks,
Sports leader, Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York.
Vince DeLisi coming up with I got a feeling they can't. And the White Sox got a feeling they can't. But we'll carry on with this charade. Like you said, back after Nick basketball. Right here with me, Bill Daughtry, on the Fan.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
His Eminence John Cardinal O'Connor with the New York Lotto numbers. Good morning, Cardinal O'Connor.
Good morning, God bless. Love by Mr. Mars.
Why don't we we're here to do...
Did this lady come back?
We're here, don't worry about that.
Was she away in a class trip or something?
Shut up.
How do you celebrate returns? Some animal crackers and Bosco, be Jesus?
No.
But she's not there. What do you do? Watch the Playboy channel like Mr. Mars?
No, I don't watch the Playboy channel, and it's time...
movie do it for you, be Jesus.
Just read the Lotto
Winning numbers in the New York State Lottery is as follows.
That's why you're here.
The daily number. 126.
126.
It's a school digging. Necrophiliac anyway, Mr.
I
Mars.
couldn't hear you, Cardinal O'Connor.
Let me say this to Louis Farrakhan and Khalid Mohammed, Mr. Mars.
Yes?
The last time I checked an atlas, there was no nation called Islam.
Fine.
Bow-tie-wearing boneheads, be Jesus.
That will be fine.
I know it's not under the Pope's stress. Either one of your high school diplomas yet from church be Jesus.
We don't need to attack Louis Farrakhan.
Civil rights, you have the right to remain stupid, be Jesus.
Fine.
Leave your flies open if you have to count to 11. I'll tell you that, you dark skin.
Just don't.
Dummies, be Jesus.
We don't need
The win phone number.
That's what we want.
6739.
6739.
You say this about the American cultural scene, Mr. Mars.
All right.
It's on its way down, boy. This little hooligan, Snoop Doggy Dog, be Jesus.
Yes.
Probably has the IQ of a beagle, fella. Jesus, give him a bone, he'd put it in his nose or beat some old lady over the head for a handbag, I tell you that.
We just don't need that.
This Roseanne Barr woman wants to kiss a woman on her TV show, is it?
Yes.
Speaking of animals, I'd rather watch Sam Donaldson French kiss Lassie, Jesus, than watch that fat pig slurp around on the new one. Make you sick.
You know,
the pigtail numbers is as follows.
That's why you're here.
Ask you this, Mr. Mars.
What are the Big Ten numbers?
What's with the cowboy boots and the tight wranglers and the big belt buckles, be Jesus?
Well,
into that country and western look I am, Mr. Mars.
Well,
that Delbert McDoofus look, is it, be Jesus?
It's Delbert McClinton.
You look like the gay bomber, old man. I'll tell you that, you silly fool, you. You're hanging out for him soon. You belong in a home where the undertakers roam, where old queers and cadavers just lay. So never'll be heard another tedious, boring word, and high fives between Barney and Lou.
That will be fine.
The pigtail numbers is as follows.
That's what we want.
1, 2, 7, 12, 17, 25, 26, 30, 33, 36, 41, 43, 45, 46, 47, 48, 52, 53, 73, 79. I just say this about Nancy Kerrigan, Mr. Mars. One hell of a tight little tush on that one, I tell you that.
That will be fine, Cardinal O'Connor.
Which doesn't belong in Y?
All right, which doesn't belong in Y?
Which doesn't belong in Y?
All right.
A, patty cakes.
Patty cakes.
B, hopscotch.
B, hopscotch.
C, ring around the rosy. Which doesn't belong in Y?
C, ring around the rosy. Well, I would say ring around the rosy.
Wrong, you two-legged liver spot here. Well, all three activities are currently considered foreplay for Amos Lamar. The answer is A, patty cake doesn't belong because unlike the other two, the Iron Man can't play patty cake without getting out of his wheelchair, BGs. I tell you that.
That will be fine.
On the radio, you can't say on the radio, you can't say on the radio. Imus in the morning.
You know, if you're going to move...
Team's not that great. Cubs, Astros, Cardinals, not that great. Coming back.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Right here now, the junior senator from the state of Connecticut, Senator Joseph Lieberman. Good morning, Senator Lieberman.
Good morning, Donald Imus. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
One of my favorite people. You're happy, and I'm happy if you're happy.
I'm very happy.
Don't let these people bother you about the age of your lady friend, or should I say girlfriend.
How much younger is your wife than you are, Senator?
Well, I must say it's only 6 years, but she makes me feel like it's a lot more than that.
So it's not like 24 years. It's like a quarter century.
No, but
high school report card.
Right, but
if your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Should Tanya Harding be able to escape in this in lieu of being, you know?
I think we shouldn't have just the strict. This is the Olympics, and I think there's so much smell around what happened out there that they should not let her escape. And I know I heard you earlier about the tremendous rating opportunity here, but to me, the big moment in television coming is your appearance on the Letterman Show.
Imus in the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
St. Peter's is doing well in that match. Mike 6-2, 10th Furious Club. The
Sunday game was canceled tonight. St. John's game on, Seton Hall game on.
Yeah, Ian's got the details at the 5 o'clock
Coming
hour.
up, Birdman.
Go away.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Hi, everybody.
Radio 66, the fan, WFAN. Mike and the Mad Dog.
Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan at 6:06, an extended version of the Mike and the Mad Dog program. Now here's a revolutionary idea in copying. You don't
St. John's going against Miami. The pregame comes your way at 7:40 right here on the Fan. We step out, take a break. Bob Husler with the 2020 update straight up at 7 on the Fan.
Sports Radio 66, the fan, WFAN.
Don Cricky has been here all morning, and he'll be coming up in just a little bit.
Oh, man.
How come whenever you call the wrong number, it's never busy?
I don't know. That's a good one. That's crazy. I don't know.
Stovetop stuffing.
Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets? I mean,
Why?
yeah.
Yeah, why?
They ain't coming to a happy ending, buddy, are they?
No, I mean...
I love this neighborhood, though, Chuck, you know? What's the deal? Well, the streets are all so festively decorated. Now, the big crack festival's coming up soon here in this area.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
I was coming in this morning, there was some cops checking a trunk there. I don't know if it was in there. It looked like a body to me, though.
Oh, it easily could be.
NYPD guys. One of them said, well, listen, anybody caught sleeping in someone else's trunk deserves to be shot.
It's a rough neighborhood.
Imus in the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Husler with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Knicks basketball.
Sports Radio 66, the fan, WFAN, New York.
7:04 on the Fan. Bill Daughtry at 718-937-6666. About 40 minutes or so away, actually 35 minutes away from St. John's basketball. The pregame at 7:40. The Johnny Reds go against the Hurricanes, the fledgling but much improved Hurricanes of Miami. They'll be playing that game, by the way, at Alumni Hall. And as you heard Bob Husler mention, Villanova and Seton Hall, they will also be playing tonight. They'll be at the Meadow.
The flagship station of New York Knicks basketball. All right, Bob Husler, thanks a lot for that in your NBA.
His next mistake was getting in the front seat with Francesa sitting right in back of him. Morning to you and how you be at 1:06 and 49 seconds. Wednesday morning it is on the Fan, New York City. Steve Summers here, you there. Rob Jepper, he's on the other side. Your co-captain, 718-937-6666. That's the number to call as we continue overnight under the covers. Schmoozing some SPORTS with you to Imus in the morning at 5:30 here on the Fan, New York. And Russ is calling from Brooklyn.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's the f***ing deal here? What is the f***ing deal? It ain't just show me a f***ing union or something. It's the army of Bosnia. It's Radisam Karagovic, the guy with the f***ing Lyle Wagner hair, who's the head of what? Bosnia. How hard is this? If Clinton can't do it, send in Jeff f***ing Gillooly. Do I have to f***ing do everything around here or what? Yo, what a f***ing day.
New York's junior senator, Alphonse D'Amato. In other news, Cuba's publicity-desperate president Fidel Castro, interviewed by Vanity Fair magazine, says, among other things, that he does not believe the stories that have suggested President Bill Clinton was once a womanizer. Vanity Fair quotes the Cuban leader as saying Hillary Rodham Clinton is just too fine to trigger infidelity in a man. Castro elaborated on his thoughts about Mrs. Clinton when double IW microphones caught up with him at a nude beach near Havana.
Yeah, man, I do her. Mainly because I'm old, I can't be so finicky. I know she's smart, but that part bores me. If I wanted a woman for her vocabulary, I'd stick my dick in a dictionary. You know what I'm saying, man?
Wonderful. And finally, at this hour, news of medicine. In Washington, controversial Surgeon General Dr. Joycelyn Elders, laughing off critics who dubbed her the condom queen, carried out, in fact, something she had threatened to do in jest when she pulled a condom over her head today in front of the Health and Human Services Administration building. The moment that began as a lark but ended tragically was captured by an Auckland, New Zealand documentary crew in Washington to film drive-by shooting. IIW News obtained the audio from that film, and this was the terrible moment as the Surgeon General unrolled the condom over her head and neck.
I don't mind being called no condom queen if it'll get our young people to use them. Check this out. I put this condom over my head. There you go. Remember, Gavin, he said that he forgot it. He said he forgot it. And I couldn't wait, man. Hey, I'm gonna get this little thing on my head, man. I'm sorry.
All right, here now the junior senator from the state of Connecticut, Senator Joseph Lieberman. Good morning, Senator Lieberman.
Good morning, Donald Imus. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
One of my favorite people. You're happy, and I'm happy if you're happy.
I'm very happy.
Don't let these people bother you about the age of your lady friend, or should I say girlfriend.
How much younger is your wife than you are, Senator?
Well, I must say it's only 6 years, but she makes me feel like it's a lot more than that.
So it's not like 24 years. It's like a quarter.
To be exact. No, but
high school report card.
Right, but
if your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Should Tanya Harding be able to escape in this in lieu of being,
I think we shouldn't have just a strict, this is the Olympics, and I think there's so much smell around what happened out there that they should not let her escape. And I know I heard you earlier about the tremendous rating opportunity here, but to me, the big moment in television coming is your appearance on the Letterman show.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Hey, fathead, check it out. It's Meatloaf.
You butt munch. That's not Meatloaf. That's that ice skating chick's bodyguard, Sean Dickhard.
Which ice skating chick? The one who looks like a dude? Or the one who, looks like a fat dude?
The one who got her husband to smack the other ice skating chick in the knee with a pipe.
She's cool. She, drinks whiskey and smokes cigarettes and plays pool. She is my idol.
She's cool, but ice skating sucks.
Yeah.
But at least if you let the chicks smack each other with pipes, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then, the last chick left standing on the ice wins all the medals.
Yeah, like the Royal Rumble.
But they should use better music.
Yeah, that West Side Story stuff sucks.
They should skate to, AC/DC or something.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Or Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best shot, baby.
Yeah. Fire away.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
I felt very fortunate. You don't go anywhere in this business without outstanding players, and I truly understand it.
Nets coach Chuck Daly, who must feel a little differently about his players today. I'm Scott Muni in for Mike Breen, along with the Pete Best of Sports, John Minko. Daly's team choked against the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, 112-104, ruining what started out to be a good day, what with his being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame and all. Just another example of being on top of the world, and then having the rug pulled out under you by a bunch of ungrateful, no-talent pantloads.
Well,
after the game, Daly was found crouched in the corner of the locker room with a pipe, waiting for Kevin Edwards to shower. With an editorial on what it means to be a Hall of Famer, here is Imus in the Morning sports mole, John Minko.
A Hall of Famer is the production of family roots, Scotso. Chuck Daly, a Hall of Famer. The I-Man, a Hall of Famer. Daly's roots through the University of Pennsylvania, Cleveland Pistons, the swamps of Secaucus. Look at the I-Man's family roots. Tens of thousands of years ago, Grandpa Imus was born, and crawling out of the primordial soup, they passed out balloons and Tipperillos. During the Revolution, Papa Imus was born, and they passed out Cubans. During the Civil War, just plain Imus was born, and they just plain passed out. They scurried about searching for the inevitable out, the loophole, the perennial escape. What they wanted was a girl or boy. It was termed the 50-50 proposition. Instead, they got
Minko, 4 words. Try a decaffeinated brand.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, it doesn't get any lamer than what we are experiencing here this morning, boys and girls. And I want to apologize now.
In the world of
football, Redskins owner Jack Kent Cook, the 81-year-old billionaire, claims his marriage to Bolivian bombshell Marlene Chalmers Cook is null and void. Kind of interesting how he married...
Imus in the morning. That's here in New York City, of course, and I keep getting confused about what time it is in Denver, but it doesn't make any difference. If you're listening on K-Big in Denver to find out what time it is, then there's a problem.
On the Letterman show.
Well, we don't have any influence with the Letterman show. I mean, we don't have any pull there. And I guess I'm lucky to be on the Letterman show.
You know, we were trying to get tickets through all the CBS affiliates here to do a promotion, send some listeners up to see you on the show, and it's impossible to get Letterman tickets.
Oh, it is?
You know, even more now than before.
Yeah. The show's actually better now than it used to be.
Do you really? The show seems a little stressed at times, though. Just that they're pushing some of the bits.
You know what the deal is with David Letterman?
What?
It's just funny, that's all.
You're right.
See, doesn't make any difference. I mean, some nights are going to be better than others. It's like this hideous program.
Sure. Hey, man, we got a bunch of stuff coming your way for Valentine's Day. Lots of listeners. We're doing a promotion with a ski trip to Vail, Colorado for the best Imus Valentine. And we've got tons of creative stuff that you're just going to really enjoy and get a big kick out of.
What do you do there? Are you the program director? Coming up in just a little bit. Oh, man. How come whenever you call the wrong number, it's never busy?
I don't know. That's a good one. That's crazy. Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets? I mean,
why?
Why? They ain't coming to a happy ending, buddy, are they?
No.
I love this neighborhood, though, Chuck, you know?
What's the deal?
Well, the streets are all so festively decorated. Now, the big crack festival's coming up soon here in this area.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And I was coming in this morning, there were some cops checking the trunk there. I don't know what was in there. It looked like a body to me, though.
Oh, it easily could be.
NYPD guys. One of them said, well, listen, anybody caught sleeping in someone else's trunk deserves to be shot.
It's a rough neighborhood.
Imus in the morning.
Hello. Hello.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Scott's out here. Oh, it's you, isn't it? Another, my mic. I couldn't get it back on either. Somebody do something?
No, I was just watching it.
That's weird. My mic just went off and I couldn't turn it back on.
Maybe God's telling you.
Another winter day here in New York, and how are you going to get through it? Well, how about New York News Day? Complete coverage of this. Hey, do we...
Morning, McDonald's.
Hi, McDonald's hamburgers?
Yes, it is.
This is Sergeant Kirkland of the Air National Guard, and I'd like to get 1,200 hamburgers.
12? Pardon me, sir?
1,200 hamburgers, what we'd like to get.
Just a moment. I'm going to have to ask my... could you hold on for a second?
Yeah.
Sergeant, just a moment, sir. There's a guy here.
Imus in the morning.
I don't know.
Hey, butthead, check it out. The Oscar Mayer nominations.
Best performance by a wiener is, Beavis's penis.
You like me? You really like me?
Do not. You suck.
Hey, who's this Cindy chick who's up for all these awards?
Cindy?
You know, the one with the list. Is that like the chick from the Brady Bunch?
You buttwipe. It's not Cindy's List. It's Schindler's List.
Oh, I get it. What's Schindler's List?
Some black and white video from some band I never heard of. Hologram or Holocaust or something.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Nah, it sucks. There's like some guy who looks like he was like in Hogan's Heroes, and the only chicks in it are like wearing babushkas or something.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'll tell you what really sucks. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Fire. That chick is hot.
You bum licker. That's Robin Williams.
So, she may be old, but she still gives me a Woodrow.
You're such a stain. It's like that comedian dude.
You mean that little hairy dude who, like, never shuts up?
Yeah.
Oh, how come he has, like, breasts?
I don't know. Maybe he took hormones or something.
You said whore.
West.
We know. Beaming down from the Starship Free Enterprise, I am the round. Well, I don't care what you think, but liberals stink, and Democrats almost as lame. All those Negroes and Jews, they give me the blues. Our country's dying and Clinton's to blame. The Nazis are wrong, and they don't belong in my conservative-minded domain. But let's call a truce, stick your head in this noose, and don't let me hear you complain. 'Cause I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know chases those Jews away. Then we call it a day. Oh, we're mighty big on the master races. We wear slip-on sheets and pillowcases. Oh, I like friends with white faces. My peers, we don't tolerate queers. Show them what an axe handle's for. You wouldn't believe what we did to this painted swastikas on his front door. I'm proud as can be, 'cause the whole EIB think I could be president someday. But I'm just a man of letters, you see, and they all spell KKK. 'Cause I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know chases those Jews away. Then we call it a day. Oh, we're mighty big on the master races. We wear slip-on sheets and pillowcases. Oh, I like friends with white faces. I like friends with white faces and a burning cross that you know chases those Jews away. Then we call it a day. Oh, we're mighty big on the master races. We wear slip-on sheets and pillowcases. Oh, I like friends with white faces. I like friends.
We're confused. We're confused.
There's enough people in that class. Let's flush the man. Can you swear? We showed him, all right? He's out of here.
Look what I got idolizing me, huh? Pretty good.
You know?
So what did Bob Gronkowski say?
Not Gronkowski.
Well, whatever it is. What did you say?
That's more like I think he said he was going to come over here and wring your wiggly neck.
I don't think he's going to do anything of the kind, by the way.
But he did say that he indeed had a chat with Clyde, and while he thinks Clyde and the rhyming was fine, he felt that there was more to what Clyde did, and he felt that Clyde should tone down the rhyming and just go on. And there you have it.
Humiliating.
Yeah, the white man's oppression, suppression.
Yep.
Make this black man into a state of depression.
Suppress this, Bernard, will you please?
Well, you know, this is really disgraceful.
Why is it disgraceful?
Because he had a thing going on. That was a hip, hot, happening thing.
Everybody was talking
about it. Bernard made it. They even had a contest last year on the Madison Square Garden Network here in New York of Walt Frazier impersonators, in which Bernard, my producer, was the judge, and Bernard does one of the better Walt Frazier impressions. What's it impersonate now? Nothing.
The problem was Bernard sounded better than Clyde, so they weren't going to hire Bernard to do the play-by-play, color analyst.
Yeah, Russ Salzberg, not moving and grooving to the library.
When did you become champion of the press, man?
Pardon me?
When did you become champion of the oppressed?
Well, I have been for some time. I have been for some time, as you know.
And yet you call Walt Frazier the colored commentator.
I didn't call him the colored commentator at all.
You said before, you said the colored commentator. No. It's an archaic reference which goes back to the Massa-Whitey mentality you talked about earlier.
Well,
tell him, Scotzo.
Shut up, you midget.
Butt out.
Butt out, you dwarf.
How's that fat pan loaded as the weather? What the hell is he on?
Lloyd Lindsay Young.
Hello, Wayne. New Jersey. There's a clouded front coming up from the south. There'll be about 8 inches of precipitation coming up from the east.
Jesus, what is that all about?
Imus in the morning.
With a history maker.
19 minutes till 10 o'clock here in New York, and I'm Imus in the morning, and now from Radio Sportiva, the Director General. What a great title, huh? Director General.
Can I be Director General of this?
Director General of Radio Sportiva, Emilio Nassar Rodriguez. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, baby. How you doing? Now, where's your station located?
It's in Mexico City.
Oh, it is? And it's all sports?
All sports. That's it.
Cool. That's the only, I used to work in a copper mine in Arizona, and that's the only Spanish-Mexican I know is like, Huele chingao, Pásame culo.
Domi la chocha.
Yeah.
Guadalajara.
What's the other one now?
Bésame bicho.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Hombre grande chocha.
Are those bad words, or?
No, that's the perfect words you can... You speak Spanish very well.
I do.
For a maricon.
One of the legendary rock and roll disc jockeys here in New York City, Scott Muni. Scott, Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, you must know Imus by his Mexican name, Piñata. So you're the all-sports station there in Mexico?
Yes, that's right.
So do you cover the cockfights and stuff?
Do you cover like cockfights and bullfights and stuff now?
Yes, bullfights, yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes, we have from Monday to Friday, one program of half an hour every day.
Right.
Bullfights.
Right.
Ay, coño.
And then do you cover, and then they're like teams in Mexico City. Soccer's big, right?
Soccer's, that's it.
And the World Cup, man, that must be big. What kind of team does Mexico have? A good team or no?
Well, not last week.
What happened last week?
But we're supposed to have a good team.
Oh, okay. And then so you guys will be coming to this country for the World Cup, right?
Yes.
I know you like 24 hours a day?
18 hours.
18?
Yeah.
And it's an AM station, but what's the power?
20,000 watts.
20,000 watts. So and that's down on the low end of the dial, so that's pretty good. It's all Spanish, right?
All Spanish, yes.
Okay. So there wouldn't be any, because like this program is, we're in like 30 cities around the country, so there wouldn't be any opportunity though. If you were to take this program, it wouldn't work out, would it?
Well, maybe.
Oh, the mind.
Yes.
But because a lot of it could, like you speak good English.
Unlike you.
Unlike me. You speak better English than I do.
Thank you.
How do you get a half an hour out of doing radio bullfighting?
Well, it's a big deal.
I know, but how do you do the play-by-play of a bullfight? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they do that.
It's not play-by-play.
Oh, okay. It's just you talk about bullfighting.
Yes,
I thought maybe it was like broadcasting a Knicks game or something, you know? Here
like,
come the picadors.
But like bullfighters are like big sports figures in Mexico, right?
Right.
They're like big heroes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. Imus in the morning.
94, Infinity Broadcasting. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and the Unistar Radio Network.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule. An indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled this station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
2020 Sports on the Fan means you'll...
18 degrees, and that's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey.
And good morning, everybody. Russ Salzberg with you here on this 9th day of February, 1994. The number, as always, for you to call, 718-937-6666. The question this morning is, how stupid are the people involved in the International Skating Union, along with the knuckle?
Have first a hearing to be taking place this coming Tuesday when the Olympics are underway over in Norway. Yet they know what they want to present to Tanya Harding now. But they're taking their sweet, silly time about all this. This sure looks like it's adding to the drama and its focus. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Don Cricky has been here all morning, and he'll be coming up in just a little bit. Oh, man. How come whenever you call the wrong number, it's never busy?
I don't know. That's a good one. That's crazy. I don't know.
Stovetop stuffing.
Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets? I mean,
why? Why?
They ain't coming to a happy ending, buddy, are they?
No, I mean...
I love this neighborhood, though, Chuck, you know?
What's the deal?
Well, the streets are all so festively decorated. Now, the big crack festival's coming up soon here in this area.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
I was coming in this morning. There was some cops checking the trunk there. I don't know what was in there. It looked like a body to me, though.
Oh, it easily could be.
NYPD guys. One of them said, well, listen, anybody caught sleeping in someone else's trunk deserves to be shot.
It's a rough neighborhood. In the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
It's 1 o'clock. What's happening? I'm John Closey with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Rangers hockey.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66. WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike and the Mad Dog. WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on the Fan, honey. Wednesday in New York City. Nice to have you aboard. 718-937-6666. A messy New York, a snowy New York, but we made it work in pretty good shape. Good to have you with us on a busy day indeed until 6. As we talk about the world of sports with Eddie Scazzeri and Robert and W. Gelb across the way. And good afternoon there, Mike. How are you?
How are you, dog? What's going on?
Hanging in there.
How's everything? You all pumped up for that Princeton ski chalet shop thing?
I'm not too sure what's going on with that.
Oh, you running down the starting lineup, saying who's got a better one.
I'll take Buck. I'll take the DH.
Depth, Yankee depth is a very big
And I'll
factor in
take the
their
bullpen. And I'll
success.
take the Yankee bullpen. Back after 5 with Klaus.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66. WFAN. Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
Sunday, 17 degrees, and that's what's happening. I'm John Closey with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball.
Sports Radio 66. WFAN. New York.
6:05 on the Fan. Good evening, everybody. Iron Eagle with you till 7 o'clock on this Wednesday night in New York. It continues to snow outside, and we'll keep you company right here on Sports Radio 66 WFAN. The Knicks are on the Fan tonight. Pregame at 7:05 with Susan Waldman. Knicks are in Philadelphia. 2.5 weeks ago, Knicks were embarrassed by the 76ers, 99-92. That was at the Garden, January 23rd. If you remember, that's the night that New York went. Made a good run, and they're a close second. NBA with an incredible run, but baseball is still the sport. One thing, just to leave you thinking about, and we'll talk about it after the Knick game, Sam Militello. Have we forgotten about this guy? He's 24 years old.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
Now from Radio Sportiva, the Director General, Emilio Nassau Rodriguez. Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, baby. How you doing? Now, where's your station located?
It's in Mexico City.
Oh, it is?
What happened?
And it's all sports?
All sports. That's it.
Cool. The only Spanish-Mexican I know is like, Huele chingao, dáseme culo. Are those bad words, or?
No, that's the perfect words you can... You speak Spanish very well.
I do.
For a maricon.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Okay, do you have like call-in shows where people call on the telephone and talk?
All the day.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. See, it's not a rating, but we know how are we by telephone calls.
Yeah. Oh, well, sure. Yeah.
We don't need no stinking ratings.
In the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Bill Daughtry, both New York based.
Yeah, pretty good. Hey, listen. Did you make up your mind about going out with my sister Chicky?
The one who's 63? I mean, I'm 52.
So what's the big deal?
Well, I mean...
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Tony?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been blind?
Since the left totally blind for 12 years. So you sure don't want to go meet Chicky, please?
Tony, I don't want to go out with your 63-year-old sister.
But then how about fixing me up for one of your girlfriends?
Well, that's a possibility.
Well, you don't have to worry what she looks like. How old she is.
In the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
Huele chingao, dáseme culo.
Tome la chocha.
Are those bad words, or?
No, that's the perfect words you can...
All right, stop it here. Wait a minute. Do you know what that means, Bernard?
No, not really, no.
Oh, okay. So it's that bad?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Real bad.
Yes. Very bad. Just because it's in a foreign language doesn't mean we can run it. We have to be responsible.
Well, how bad is it? Is it one of the 7 words?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Of course not. Okay, well, so you have a good point. Well, never mind then.
That'd be irresponsible.
Flashback.
All right, here now, Media Watch, a proofread of the country's communications landscape with veteran journalist Walter Cronkite.
Thank you. The first clue, I think, is a physical one. The undershot chin. The malleable mandible of the sissy we all remember from elementary school. Yes, certainly you recall him. The tall, gawky lad with the full clip of nerd pens in the breast pocket who relaxed his bladder from time to time while seated at his desk, and who was ground zero for others' expressions of contempt, ridicule, and spite. You hated him. You stole his lunch. You threw dodgeball at his head. He was, and is, in essence, counselor to the president, David R. Gergen. Expert communicator, skilled strategist, consummate quisling. You should look it up. If there's a more reprehensible figure among the front runners galloping this way and that inside the Beltway, this venerable and well-loved reporter doesn't know one. Gergen, wordsmith who designed the 100-day plan for winning Ronald Reagan's revolutionary tax cuts, is now the wordsmith summoned to try to end Bill Clinton's 100-day debacle and peddle to an astonishingly gullible public a counter-revolution that envisions the bloodiest assault on your wallet since King George held the colonists by the proverbial short ones. While many expressed shock that Gergen would leap so far to the other side of the political fence, it startles this deeply respected and much revered journalist not at all. Of course Gergen jumped ship to join the Clinton crusade, for he is cut from the same role of, well, papier-hygienique, if you will, demonstrating that he, too, will say anything, do anything, to affix himself to some totem of power. In a word, just one more foggy bottom feeder, ready, waiting, and willing to bed down with Bill, or Ron, or George, or whoever holds the reins at the moment, in a sorry attempt to siphon off a portion of power, and push into a corner of the light that spills from the Oval Office. What a f***ing wuss. It is proper and fitting that his name conjures up the sucking sounds of a plugged-up sink. Gergen. Gergen. As the president searches now for his political center, aided by this trusty new scout, I find myself picturing a blind man whose seeing-eyed dog has just daintily jumped over an open manhole. The animal's fine. The blind guy is lying in a soup of turds with his tibia protruding from his mouth. Thumbnail sketch then of David Richmond Gergen, counselor to presidents, double-dealing Democrat, fraudulent Republican, unprincipled mercenary. If the sign in the Oval Office reads, "The buck stops here," then the sign in Gergen's office must read, "We'll shill for food." For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Thank you. Good night.
Good morning, Senator Dole.
How's the state of the I-Man today?
Very good.
Good.
What did you think of the president last night?
Well, I think it was very long. I mean, he set a new record, I think, for length.
It was over an hour, wasn't it?
I lost track. I was working on mine, but...
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I was talking with Senator Kristoff earlier this morning. He was actually there for the speech last night.
Right, I saw him. He looked good.
Yeah.
He stayed awake.
I asked you. I asked him, I said, how come you and Kennedy are never on any of these Sunday morning talk shows? And he said, well, we're just getting in about that time.
Well, they could do it on the way home.
Yeah, they could drop her off and then stop by and talk to Tim Russert.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
On an all-new time.
Hey, Butthead, check it out. The Oscar Mayer nomination.
Judge for yourself. Tanya Harding, Connie went and saw her. She's also on Inside Edition. CBS got it for free. Inside Edition got it for 600 big ones. 600,000. They didn't call me, I would have done it for 5. We'll catch you tomorrow from somewhere. Minneapolis, New York, who knows?
Mike and the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Sports bring the flurries after midnight. Not as cold, high temperature around 40. Right now, 15 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Central Park. And that's what's happening. I'm Bill Daughtry with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the home of the NBA playoffs.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
6:07, and what do you say? Howie Rose with you on the fan. Well, until midnight tonight anyway, interrupted by the Knicks and the Golden State Warriors. If I sound a little snarly, well, aren't you? There is no one, save for perhaps the ultimate lunatics, who are in a good mood anywhere near the New York tri-state area these days. It is impossible to be in a good mood the way the elements have conspired to ruin us. You can't get around. I mean, if you're driving home right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For example, Long Island Expressway, westbound. I started out around exit 43 this afternoon, and just when you think you got a little daylight, a little room to open up, negatory. And it's because you do these little itsy-bitsy spin-outs. You can't even see the slick spots in the road anymore. It's bad enough they dumped 12 inches of stuff you can see. Then when you start driving, they got this invisible stuff that makes your trip even more perilous. So, I mean, everybody trying to get from point A to point B is in a miserable mood, and it is certainly understandable. But how about those who have to travel from city to city in order to get their games played? Well, the Golden State Warriors have to be pretty happy. They're in town now, and I don't know whether or not they charter after the game tonight. If they've got any foresight, I certainly hope they do. Because now, what if you're the New York Rangers, and you just got through the 8.5-hour bus ride? And by the way, they did all right to get up to Montreal in 8.5 hours once the storm hit the other day. So they before the playoffs start, and you have to be pretty careful when you make a deal at that juncture that it doesn't turn everything that's made the club successful, if they're still successful at that time, upside down. More on that after the game. Knicks and Golden State coming up after the update. I'm Howie Rose. Enjoy the ball game.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN.
Been a long time, Miss Noir.
Yes, it has.
Not long
long enough, you bag of dirt, you.
It's a fine.
I've seen this myself be doing a little biblical research.
Oh, I bet you have.
Trying to find out the real reason the Jews wandered the desert for 40 years.
Yes?
Finally found out, Imus in the morning.
Oh, what was it?
Somebody dropped a quarter and they couldn't find it.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You'd be fighting it out with that low-class heave Howard Stern around the country with the Imus in the morning.
Something like that, yes.
How are you going to compete when he puts his 3 hook-nosed daughters on the air for lesbian dilated?
I don't think that.
Brings in his bovine wife to play bestiality dilated.
Boy, isn't that the truth, man.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Accumulating up to a foot north and west of the city, according to the National Weather Service. They're expecting a foot in the city, Long Island and New Jersey, and the high today will be 25 degrees.
I love the priest and the rabbi, by the way.
I do too. They are just, they're terrific people. They really are.
Wouldn't it be horrible if we found out when I'm with doing something? Live now past the Texas, my brother Fred Imus. Good morning, Fred.
Thanks.
Thanks for what?
Thanks for letting me sit through that awful record.
Oh, you know, why don't we play I Don't Want to Have to Marry You, the song you wrote?
Is he going to be down here at one of these holiday inns pretty soon?
Way to go, Fred.
I received a letter. Why don't you take that record and just throw it out? We got a window there you can throw it out.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know who you look like? You look like you had to be in Tanya Harding's entourage. That's who you look like. You look like you had to be right there in the trailer next to him.
Yeah, I bet there's some big endorsements headed her way.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Cam Lewis wins the Rolex Yachtsman of the Year. Good morning. This is my friend with sports. 36-year-old Lewis claimed to fame. He was the watch captain on board a catamaran.
Good morning, Roger.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
What? Well, the Chinese New Year.
You think Chinese people all have the same problem we do after New Year's? Like it's the year of the dog, but by force of habit, they're still writing year of the rooster on their checks?
Well, I don't know.
Hey, guess what?
What?
My brother's in jail. I saw it on the news.
Oh, I don't think he's in jail.
He said he was going to spend $13.2 billion in drugs.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, there he is in a Maryland prison. And I thought I was a stupid one.
Well,
I don't care if you are the president of the United States. You just don't announce on national TV you're going to call up and think you're going to get away with it. Hey, you see where Marlon Brando's kid Miko's testifying against Michael Jackson in that grand jury here?
yeah, I did hear about that.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You think old Miko was able to pull his head out the Oreo bag long enough to see anything?
Well,
I gotta go. I'm supposed to speak at a meeting of this group and thinks Barney's a satanic being. I've actually witnessed evidence that supports that theory, though. I've done a 4-way hit a window pane and played I Love You, You Love Me backwards on my record player.
Yeah.
And it says, kill Tina, the little fat chick.
Imus in the morning. Flashback.
All right, here now, the senior senator from the state of Massachusetts, Edward M. Kennedy.
Thank you. As many of you are aware, the Kennedy family has for years been star-crossed in the pursuit of our interests, both public and private. My brother John suffered his Bay of Pigs in Cuba and later in the White House itself with the advent of Angie Dickinson, Marilyn Monroe, and Judith Exner. My brother Bobby often found himself locked in struggle with J. Edgar Hoover, and later locked in estrus with Miss Monroe and others too numerous to recount here. I, Edward, endured not only their tribulations, but from time to time, my own. Miss Monroe, of course, passed on before I myself got a shot at her. An unfortunate choice of words. Let me rephrase the thought. She experienced demise before I could experience dem thighs. But despite her loss, and while I'm not proud of it, I have been caught with my trousers about my ankles on occasion, both in the figurative and, sad to say, literal sense. But all of that is history that can neither be changed nor rewritten. The past difficulties, troubling as they were, must be put aside this morning. For it is a new sense of desolation and despair that overwhelms me today. Indeed, I would rather face Anita Hill again and actually ask her some questions than confront what fate delivers now. Imus in the morning, in Boston. This increasingly powerful media figure, who has no controls governing him, can now lay out in detail before my Bay State constituents the various picadillos that occasionally beset me. While a number of my colleagues assigned to Imus a certain cachet, even appearing to fawn over him, Bill Bradley, my old friend Chris Dodd, Senator D'Amato and Dole among them, I do not fall into that category. I refuse to be carried away by this swelling tide of Imus adulators. Let me put that another way. I will not be found in some I-man, A-man chorus, currying favor with a sophomoric comic who thinks it's amusing to play a sound effect of an automobile skidding out of control, followed by a voice gurgling help every time somebody happens to mention the name Ted Kennedy. Oh, how droll. Rest assured that because of such insensitivity, the Federal Communications Commission will be asserting itself in this national expansion of the Imus program. Or my name's not Ted Kennedy. Oh,
In the morning, 2020 sports.
Racing and Aqueduct canceled today. Good morning. This is Mike Green with sports. Today's snowstorm has wiped out today's card at the Big A. Knicks, meanwhile, got wiped out last night at the Garden, 113-105.
You're the... Following up on this conspiracy theory that perhaps Joe DiMaggio...
What is your...
Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah.
Jack Kennedy was hosing his babe, Marilyn.
Right.
Joe's a macho, hot-headed Italian.
I just don't think that...
Has anybody ever looked into that?
No, nobody's ever suggested that, Bernard, until you have. I mean, I just...
never come up. I suggest he be taken in for questioning.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I don't think it had anything to do with Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio. Well, Joe was married to her for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might have killed her, too, now that you think
Sure, well, why? You know,
God almighty.
Still a question about that.
I did just shut up.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Joe Queen is here, the Imus in the Morning program. Mike Francesa, who used to have a big-time career with CBS Sports, but pretty much that's blown up. We'll talk to him, though. We call him the sports doctor here in New York. He's coming up. Talk show called Live from the Play-by-Play. He was on his way to Minnesota for the All-Star game, but the airports are all clogged up with snow and closed here in New York, so he's here in the studio with us. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Don. How are you?
So you pretty much had this, we were on this big roll at CBS Sports and then had at Canton, which we don't need to go into now. That is ostensibly a sports station covering an area of society that features primarily African-American participants. And we have one here, and the rest of them are either white or
Jewish, mostly.
Or Jews. Yeah. Well, Jews, I guess, would be one.
Yeah.
Plenty of jerks.
We have other minorities.
Really?
Yeah, we have dog. He's a mutant.
And we have one homosexual. Yeah. So it's good that Dave Sims is getting a shot on CBS. It's a great gig for him. Yeah, and because you're seething with rage and jealousy. Absolutely not.
No, really handled it very well. I saw him outside saying, "That's my gig," banging his head against the typewriter. I said, "It's my gig."
Dave's responsible for a lot of my success, and I'm happy for him now. You're lucky he even let you work for him. First time we met you were saying, "Mr. Sims, could I get you some more coffee?" That was my job description. Well, that's right. That was a good one, too. We'll talk to Francesa for a second about the basketball season. The Knicks are up.
A cue ball with eyes to chip in.
It was like a kiwi fruit with eyes.
Mike couldn't get on the plane. They wanted 2 tickets when they saw him.
So, will it be in the finals, the Knicks and Phoenix?
Knicks and Phoenix. And
Bernie's going to go over with Bartlett tonight and do my show, Bernie, but you do have to, again, wait tables before and after your appearance, okay?
Here in the New York area, live on a play-by-play, Rob Bartlett, who works on this program, is going to be sitting in for you tonight.
Yes, he is.
And Rob had no idea that it was after a Rangers game when we have every drunk stockbroker in New York
Friday night.
on a Friday night, drunk out in a snowstorm, drunk out of their minds.
He didn't realize it was also nickel beer and hockey stick night.
All right, thanks, you guys. 9 till 10, Imus in the morning. Boston Red Sox are at home. Frank Viola, who is not getting it done. Frankie V. Frankie V. But what did we say when he was here? He couldn't get it done here. He can't get it done there.
No surprise.
Well, you talk about a panty waist and a sissy, but a very consistent one. God, that's Frank Viola.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know, I saw Mike Francesa yesterday. Yeah. I love him. Very nice man. He and Bill Parcells own these 2 racehorses. Did you know that? Heard about it, yeah. They own 2 racehorses. Mike Francesa and Bill Parcells.
Don't ride them.
Guys,
in the morning.